really. I was very uneasy as an actor, you know. I knew I wanted to be an actor, but I couldn't make progress, and I was no good at being a villain. When I played Macbeth, which some of you will know is very gruesome, playing a man who was so cruel and murdered children and murdered his best friends and sacrificed his soul. And after the play, some people who'd seen me said, we saw Macbeth last night. Tom Baker was playing Macbeth. And I had no idea, said the reviewer, that Macbeth was such a charming, gentle man. So that I think that means I failed as Macbeth, isn't it? Because my heart really wasn't in it. To which he said, go ahead, or do it. And I bit the head off the jelly baby and said, I don't take orders from anyone. So take me to your leader anyhow. So that was on the Saturday. Now the rushes were on the following Wednesday. We went in on a Thursday, and we were waiting for this result, you see, and the producer came in and said, Tom, fantastic. And everyone liked it, everyone was terribly happy. But of course he might have said, you're out. I knew he probably wouldn't say that. There you are. So sometimes my silliness played off. Yeah. Where are we up to?
Okay, next question, please. This young lad.
Do you ever watch Doctor Who these days?
Do you ever watch Doctor Who these days?
No. No, I don't watch Doctor Who. I don't really watch very much on television at all, although I've got lots of television and films and things like that, because I'm a voting member of the British Academy, so they send me all the films. I mean, more than sometimes up to the BAFTA awards, I get sometimes, or the Oscars, I get sometimes 6 a day, which of course is unthinkable. My wife, who's very keen on films, she watches them we've got a sort of room which is devoted to that kind of thing with a huge screen, and she watches them and then fills the forms in for me. And so, and apparently, I know quite a few people, 3 or 4 people in films, and I was telling them this story and they laughed. They said, one woman said, it's funny you should say that, my young Philip, he's only 13, he does exactly the same. She doesn't watch them either. So people are actually getting Oscars or getting BAFTA awards on the recommendation of children. Because I like that kind of irony, because when I'm watching a film now, I'm so old and couldn't care less. I often actually shout back at the screen. And apparently when I talk to young people, which occasionally I do, they come to see me out of curiosity. I've got a big cage at the back of my house, and I sit on a stool, beyond these bars, eating a banana or something. and these children come and look at me and ask questions. But apparently, they do all the same thing, they like all that, but they shout at the television. And the wonderful thing is about television, there are lots of wonderful things, and some terrible things as well. But the wonderful thing is you can actually have an emotion against someone. You can hate someone, or love them, but hate someone, and make terrible personal remarks to someone you don't know and have never met, and you're never likely to meet them. And so it's an amazing, liberating thing to say, look at the state of it. Oh, put them away, love, put them away. Or whatever it is. You shout. And when you had a few drinks, it's a wonderful way to pass an hour, really. Shouting, topping each other with you say, look, his toothpaste slipping, and all that kind of thing. And say, hey, mate, your flies are undone. I've longed to do that as a sketch, and then cut away to the actor, who somehow hears it and adjusts his flies, but I'm being very silly now.